Business plans are dead. If you're thinking about making one, don't. Watch this video and I'm going to show you what you need to do instead and why, if you do a business plan right now, you're going to be regretting it.
I'm not a fan of a traditional business plan. Uh, I am a fan of planning in a big way. Typically, we'll have a 5-year, this is what we want the company to do and look like in 5 years, but it's a very vague plan. And then it's an annual and a quarterly, because that's about how far you can really see out, right? And on a quarterly basis, you kind of adjust, what does my rolling 12 months forward look like? But to think in this day and age that you can nail down all four corners of the business to 5 years just seems ludicrous to me. The market is moving too fast. The financial markets are crazy. You don't know if you're going to get investment. This whole AI thing is coming on like a freight train. And a lot of the positions of people that you are going to hire might be better done by machines. So you can have a general idea of where you want to play in an ecosystem. You can have an idea of the value that your company brings and the core values that you and your team are bringing into the market. But you can't tell me that you know what your marketing mix is going to look like 4 years from now. Think 4 years ago, right? I mean, the world was completely different. So it is a combination of having a North Star of where you're going, and then building out, okay, well, this is the way that the waves are going right now. These are the strategic things that I can do in the next 90 days, being extremely disciplined about actually executing for that 90-day block, and then reassessing what worked, what didn't work. Do I need to go back and try things again with a different test? Did I achieve that goal and now it's on to the next? Is that still consistent with my 12-month? Is that still consistent with my 5-year? So I view it as an iterative thing rather than the idea that you can write the future and no matter what, 2 years from now, this is what we're doing. I think you come at it from two directions, right? What is achievable? And then what are you trying to accomplish? Because different entrepreneurs have different concepts of what they're trying to do. Some of them want to build a $100 million empire. And at the 5-year mark, that means certain things have to be in place, right? You're probably going to have a team that has these functions on it. Now, we don't know if that team is going to be all people or people and robots or what have you, but you'll have these functions being taken care of at a company of a certain size. On the other hand, you might have someone that says, you know what, I just want to take home $1.5 million every year, and I want to do an absolute minimum amount of work to it. That's a very different kind of thing, right? That's a different kind of planning, and that's a different kind of organization. So you're kind of coming at it both from what do you want the entity to look like, and then what do you want it to look like for you, and then those two put together a path. Like I'm not at my age, I am not willing to do certain things that I was willing to do at age 32. I'm just not, I'm not willing to do that. And I know you recently became a dad, right? And it changes things. I've got 2 kids. One of them is just a couple of years away from going to college. And then I'm not going to see her much anymore. I'm not going to compromise that time and do what I did for my businesses in my early 30s, where I could sleep under a desk and I could work 7 days a week. I'm just not going to do that. So I'm going to make a choice. And it's like, okay, well, I'm going to use capital instead of time. And I can make that choice, or whether you have to go and get investors or you use your own capital. But that is a choice you can make, because my personal needs and the entrepreneur's personal needs have to fit in to what you're trying to do as a company. And if those two don't mesh, you're just going to be in no man's land between the two, thinking that you can do a 4-hour work week and actually get somewhere.
Now that you know what not to do for business planning and what to do, the next thing is to know who's going to buy your business, because that is going to tell you what to do next. Join me for this video in which I talk about who's buying businesses and what businesses are doomed.